Starting June 1st is the 3-year subscription for Microsoft 365 E3 without Teams and Microsoft 365 E5 without Teams, and the Teams Enterprise Standard product. They'll be the same prices, if you're curious, the same prices as the annual subscriptions of these products today. You might remember one of my previous episodes, there's about a 20% price uplift if you want the month-to-month subscription. But for today's discussion, we're really talking about the 3-year term that, again, comes out June 1st, and it's priced the same as the annual term. So, about $33, $34 for E3 without Teams, 54, 55 right in between there for E5 without Teams. And then Teams Enterprise Standard is the $5.25 for the annual term. Payment options for these 3-year terms are either going to be annual payments, so you pay every 12 months, or you can pay all 3 years up front. Many companies are going to choose the annual payment, get you a little bit more of an OpEx predictable model. Some larger companies do like to pay up front. Some companies will treat some big software purchases as a capital expense, a CapEx purchase, and they might want to do those up front. So good news, we have the option to have a 3-year payment up front for these products. For the Microsoft 365 E3 or E5 that comes with Teams, you'll have to already have the Microsoft 365 E3 or E5 with Teams in your CSP subscription. And if so, then we can upgrade that from the annual term to a triennial term for a 3-year subscription. So for those of you that might remember, there was some challenges with Teams and the European Economic Union, and Microsoft had to unbundle Teams in Europe a few years back, and then it happened in the United States market recently. So that's why there can be kind of confusion, but there are two products we're talking about here, the Microsoft 365 E3 with and without Teams, and then the Microsoft 365 E5 with and without Teams. So those two products have two options, which I don't want to try to make this confusing, but that's just the way it is for legal compliance reasons that Microsoft did have to unbundle Teams from Microsoft 365 E3 and E5. Also at midterm or renewal of these Microsoft 365 E3 and E5 subscriptions with Teams, you'll be able to upgrade to a 3-year term. So super exciting. So June 1st is the launch of Microsoft 365 E3, E5 with and without Teams at 3 years and Teams Enterprise. And then 1 month later, July 1st, which is the start of Microsoft's next fiscal year, the 3-year subscription option will become available for Microsoft 365 E5 security and for Microsoft 365 E5 compliance. Those mini suites are, to me, they're wonderful products. They're just for the price they deliver, a lot of bang for the buck. They can be added on to Microsoft 365 E3. And then in a recent announcement that we did a podcast on, I think a month ago, we can now add on Microsoft 365 E5 security onto Microsoft 365 Business Premium, which was a big win. So these two products, E5 security and E5 compliance, the same price, the $12.60 per month on an annual basis. The triannual, the 3-year basis, also has that same price. And then for a quick rundown on what E5 security and E5 compliance include, E5 security includes Microsoft Entra ID Plan 2, Defender for Office 365 Plan 2, Defender for Endpoint Plan 2, Defender for Identity, Defender for Cloud Apps. And then the combination of all those products allows you to leverage the Microsoft Defender XDR features, the extended detection and response, which is a wonderful, wonderful way to secure your devices and your servers. Microsoft 365 E5 compliance add-on focuses more on the compliance sector, obviously, than security. It includes the Purview Compliance Manager. If you've never used Compliance Manager before, it's one of the greatest products around. It has over 300 pre-built assessments for things like HIPAA, GDPR, the list goes on. I've used it for years. It's great. It runs against your environment and then tells you, hey, turn on multi-factor authentication, or make sure you're reviewing your logs, or make sure you're reviewing your user accounts for inactivity and turning them off. So just it's a wonderful product. The E5 Compliance Mini Suite also includes Purview Information Protection, the Data Loss Prevention add-on, Insider Risk Management, Advanced e-Discovery and Audit, and then a Records Management solution. So 2 really popular add-ons for our customers. And again, they go live on July 1st with a 3-year subscription.